Good morning, dear hearts. We are now on lesson 43, and please subscribe. This is the second of what I referenced yesterday as the God is lessons. Today's is God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. My source, my creator. God is my creator. God is my celestial parent. God is the one who leads me everywhere. God is my father. Source is an interesting word. If we look at source, what is source? Source is the beginning. Anything that is the source is the beginning of everything else. Like a river is the source of a stream. The stream only exists because of the source of the river. We only exist because God is our source. He has created us and we flow from him, from his mind, from his being, from his spirit. I cannot see apart from my source. Today's lesson begins with perception is not an attribute of God. God's is the realm of knowledge, and there's a huge difference there. Perception is truly not knowing, and knowledge is, of course, that indeed I do know that I know that I know. Yet he has created the Holy Spirit as the mediator between perception and knowledge. As soon as there was the need, as soon as there was the problem, here was the answer. The answer in this case, every case, is the Holy Spirit to link us, bridge us out of our perception and to lead us into knowledge, the realm of God. Without this link with God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. I would not have been able to find my way home. With this link, with this bridge, with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge. That is its function as the Holy Spirit sees it, and therefore that is its function in truth. Everything turned over to the Holy Spirit heals. Everything heals. The relationship heals. My perception heals. My mind heals. Everything heals because this is the function of the Holy Spirit, to heal us and bring us back home, where in truth we haven't left, but in this realm that we are in of perception, we think that we are very far away from our Father, very far away from our source. The next paragraph says, in God you cannot see. Perception has no function in God and does not exist. Yet in salvation, which is the undoing of what never was, perception has a mighty purpose, made by the Son of God for an unholy purpose. It must become the means for the restoration of his holiness to his awareness. Made by the Son of God, that moment, that tiny mad idea moment when we thought that we were somehow not part of our source, what we made then was perception. We were looking for an answer. The answer we found, we made, was not the real answer. But in that same moment, God created the Holy Spirit, our answer to every one of our false perceptions. Yet does the Holy Spirit give it a meaning very close to God's perception. Healed perception becomes the means by which the Son of God forgives his brother and thus forgives himself. That forgiveness, that's cause and effect here. Okay, which is really the cause? The forgiveness of my brother, and then the effect is the forgiveness of myself? Or is it really the other way around? Well, what we've learned in the past is that cause and effect happen like that. That really, as I've said before, the most skilled surgeon with a laser beam or a scalpel truly couldn't figure out where to divide these two things. But our healed perception will allow us for total forgiveness, of course, of totality, a philosophy of totality, a unified thought system where all forgiveness happens. And the order of how it happens or when it happens is of no concern. Our only concern is that we turn everything over to the Holy Spirit so it will happen. The next paragraph says you cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. We are either a part of God or we believe we are apart from God, but the truth is we are always a part of God. Whatever you do in Him, because whatever you think with His mind, which will be the basis for another lesson in the next couple of days. If vision is real, and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, then you cannot see apart from God. So when I see, I must see as God sees, and that is with vision. And that is not seeing the ephemeral, the outside, the appearance. It is to see what has become a favorite word this year, the spark that is within my brother, each and every one. As I look with vision towards you, what I see is I see you. Just as in the movie Avatar, when they have that moment and they look in each other's eyes, their hearts, their souls, however you see or believe that to be, and they say, I see you, because it is not of the outside appearance, it is not with the body's eyes, but is with the vision of source that I see you. Now the practicing today are 3 5-minute practice periods, morning, evening, and another one somewhere in between. And this lesson, this practicing actually has 2 parts. It has a first one, which is we glance around the room for a short period of time and apply the ideas specifically to what you see. And it's God is my source, I cannot see this desk apart from Him. Or God is my source, I cannot see that picture apart from Him. But do you remember lesson 29? That God is in everything I see, and that God is in that coat hanger, and God is in that table. Well, God is in that desk, and I cannot see that desk apart from God because God is in everything I see. And then the second part of the practicing is more of the meditation, although it does not use that word, going within and again, seeing how many course-related thoughts will come to mind, and quiet the mind and say, I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see this world as blessed. The world can show me myself. It is my own, I see my own thoughts, which are like God's. And continue from there. And you don't have to use those. It's how many course-related thoughts are actively showing up in your mind now, because we've been doing this for over a month. And then, of course, it ends with saying, and to apply today's idea in the shorter practice periods, which are the hourly ones that we remind ourselves of the lesson, and that God is my source, I cannot see apart from Him. And whenever we are with someone else, try to remember and tell this other person silently. But there's a wonderful line right after that that I really like to mention, but it says, this form is equally applicable to strangers as it is to those you think are closer to you. And this is where the true practicing, the true work is, to realize that those people that I think are closer to me, I am equally a part of them and they are a part of me. For the ones that I truly don't know but simply are passing on the street, or that I have had just a momentary relationship with, this is where we need to go, because we have to realize there is no difference, there's no separation in our mind for us to bless and to see everyone the way we see our closest relatives, our closest friends, and those that are the most distant from us. We cannot see apart from God. He is our source. And the last line says, try today not to allow any long periods of time to slip by without remembering today's idea and thus remembering your function. And our function will grow and we'll become more aware of the many aspects of what our function is. For now, today, our function is to see everyone as God would see everyone. We cannot see apart from God. So I hope that helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray. Pray for vision. Pray for the unification of your thought system, that there is no separation in anyone or anything. And I see you. Namaste.